Hey team, Anonymous Q's. So today's question, if I'm struggling to get 10,000 steps in a day, can I do anything else instead, or is walking the only activity that achieves the benefits? No, there's other things you can do, alright? So don't know if you know the history of the 10,000 steps. I think it was something to do with, I think it was one of the Olympic Games or something, the Seoul Games. Somebody invented a pedometer. I think it was the Chinese or the Japanese, I'm not very sure. And they just thought, they gave them out free, so they just picked a random number of 10,000 steps. However, it's stuck for most people, alright? It is it's basically just a ploy to get people moving, but a good ploy, alright? So, as a rough guide, you could do 5k on the bike. Alright, if you've got a stationary bike in the house. However, there's no direct equivalent because when you're walking, you're carrying more weight, so the more of your body weight is supported on a bike. It also depends on the distance of your stride, also depends on how much you weigh, and it also depends on the intensity of the cycling, right? But that's way too technical, right? So basically, to cut a long story short, you could do an hour of swimming, and if you're on the bike, you roughly cycle about 4 times faster than you walk. So if you just divide what you would normally walk by 4, so if you normally walk for an hour and then you could cycle at a high intensity for 15 minutes, then that would be a good equivalent. All right, there's loads of things you can do. Skipping counts as well if you can get a set of ropes. The good thing about skipping is it is fairly high impact, but you can break it down into like 2-minute chunks, so you could just go out the back and knock out 100 skips or 50 skips or wherever you are at the moment. All right, so as we come into winter, it is going to get more and more and more difficult to do your steps, especially if you don't have a dog to force yourself out there. So you need to invest in some good clothing. Don't let the weather put you off, right? As one of my clients said previously, it's not acid rain, right? You're not going to burn to death, you're not going to shrink. Get some decent clothing in you, or if you want to invest in a bike, then that's absolutely fine. Rowing as well, do you know, half an hour of rowing to an hour of walking, again, it just makes it more time efficient, and yes, that is still as beneficial. So rowing, skipping, swimming and biking. Alright, if you've got anything else, or just go for a dance. You could dance for an hour and it would be the same. The ploy is just to get you to move, so we want to get your arse off the sofa and get all the movement in. All right, if there's any activity that you're specifically thinking about, pop it in the comments, do some or give me a shout and I'll see what I can find out for you. All right, ta-ta.